history we were all taught growing up is wrong. Not incomplete, not misunderstood, but wrong. My name is Scott Walter. I'm a forensic geologist, and for years I've been investigating evidence that suggests humanity's past is far more complex and far more hidden than we've been led to believe. Across the world, there are pyramids, chambers, inscriptions, and stone structures that don't fit the official timeline of history. And today, that investigation brings us to one place, Nova Scotia. Because according to legend, one of the greatest treasures in human history may be buried here. It began with an email. Dear Scott, my name is Dan Parada. I'm a professional treasure hunter. He claimed to have discovered strange symbols carved into stone on a remote island off the coast of Nova Scotia. Symbols he believed pointed to something incredible, a hidden treasure brought to North America in the year 1398 by a Scottish nobleman named Henry Sinclair, a man rumored to have ties to the most mysterious organization in medieval history, the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar were elite warrior monks created by the Catholic Church during the Crusades. They protected pilgrims, they guarded sacred relics, they accumulated massive wealth, and then, suddenly, they vanished, accused of heresy, branded as enemies of the Church, their leaders executed. But here's the mystery: no one ever found their treasure. Some believe the Templars discovered something beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, something so powerful it threatened the foundations of the church itself. Gold, ancient knowledge, sacred bloodlines, and perhaps the most famous legend of all, the Holy Grail. I called my friend Steve, a man who believes he may be a distant descendant of the Sinclair bloodline. We agreed on one thing: if there was even a chance this story was real, we had to investigate. We flew to Halifax and then traveled by boat to a small, isolated island known as Hobson Island. Dan believed this island wasn't the final destination, but a staging ground, a place where something valuable once rested before being moved inland. On Hobson Island, we found it, a massive granite boulder. After clearing away moss and debris, a carving became visible, a sharp, unmistakable V-shaped symbol. It wasn't random, it wasn't natural. The angles were precise, the lines symmetrical, and one side curved inward, forming what looked like a hooked axe. This symbol appears repeatedly in Templar-associated sites across Europe. In my research, the hooked axe represents something sacred, something hidden, something protected. If this symbol was authentic, it meant we were standing in the presence of a Templar marker. Then Dan showed us something even more disturbing, a pattern of stones arranged along the shoreline. From above, it wasn't random, it was deliberate. It mirrored the surrounding islands, a map made of stone. Dan believed it was designed to show where the treasure was taken after leaving Hobson Island, and every directional line pointed toward one place, a quiet inland community called New Ross. Local legends say Prince Henry Sinclair built a stone castle in New Ross after arriving in North America. Today, no castle officially exists, but what remains tells a different story. Massive foundation stones, walls over 5 feet thick, chisel marks that cannot be explained by natural erosion. One stone in particular stood out, perfectly shaped, smooth-faced, indented in a way only tools could create. This wasn't a farmhouse. This was defensive architecture. This was a castle. Near the foundation lies an ancient well. Decades ago, a woman named Joan Hope created diagrams showing the original stone layout of the site. Her drawings revealed something unusual. As the castle walls approached the well, they curved inward. Why would a fortress wall bend toward a well, unless there was something beneath it? Hidden chambers, secret rooms, a vault. To avoid destroying the property, we used a long-range locator, a controversial device treasure hunters swear by. We tuned it to the frequency of gold. The signal locked on. Once, twice, 3 times. Each reading pointed directly to the well. Then we sent a diver down. At 16 feet, he stopped. Then 2 sharp tugs on the rope, the signal for discovery. His lights disappeared. He had entered a void. When the diver surfaced, his words sent chills through us all. The stones down there, they're not random. If Prince Henry Sinclair brought the Templar treasure to North America, if the symbols are real, if the chambers exist, then history as we know it is incomplete, because sometimes history isn't what we've been told. When the diver surfaced, his face said everything. Whatever he had seen beneath the well, it wasn't natural, it wasn't random, and it wasn't supposed to be found. Beneath a quiet property in New Ross, we may have uncovered something connected to one of the greatest mysteries in human history. A mystery tied to bloodlines, lost knowledge, and the Knights Templar. The diver described rows of stones stacked deliberately, not scattered, not collapsed, lined up, straight, geometric. That immediately ruled out a natural cave. Nature doesn't build straight walls, people do. He also noticed something else, a curve, like the beginning of an archway. Medieval stone arches weren't decorative, they were functional. They existed to support weight and to protect what lay beyond. This wasn't just a room, this was a sealed entrance. If this chamber was man-made, then someone went to extraordinary lengths to hide it. And that raises a critical question. What was so valuable it needed to be hidden underground, behind stone, beneath a well, inside a castle? History tells us Prince Henry Sinclair vanished from European records in the late 1300s. No burial, no tomb, no monument. Men of his status didn't just disappear, unless they left the world behind. There's another piece to this puzzle. Back in Scotland stands Rosslyn Chapel, built by Prince Henry's grandson. The chapel is covered in strange symbols. Among them, the hooked X, the same symbol found on Hobson Island. Many researchers believe this symbol represents a sacred bloodline. Others believe it marks the guardianship of forbidden knowledge. Either way, Rosslyn Chapel is considered one of the most important Templar-related sites in the world. So why does the same symbolism appear across the ocean, in North America? According to legend, the Knights Templar uncovered something beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Not just gold, but ancient texts, scrolls that predate Christianity, knowledge that challenged the official story of human origins. Some theories suggest they discovered proof of a royal bloodline, one that traced back to Jesus himself. Others believe they found advanced ancient technology. Whatever it was, the Templars were destroyed soon after, but their treasure was never recovered. What if it wasn't lost? What if it was relocated? In the late 1300s, Europe was dangerous. The church was hunting Templars. Kings were seizing assets. But North America? It was unknown, unmapped, untouched, a perfect hiding place. Nova Scotia in particular offered remote islands, dense forests, high ground, natural concealment, and, according to legends, friendly native alliances. Prince Henry may not have come here to explore. He may have come here to protect something. The well may not be the only access point. Based on Joan Hope's diagrams, the walls curve inward at multiple locations. That suggests tunnels, storage rooms, or a vault system. Medieval castles often used decoy chambers. If intruders found one room, the real treasure lay deeper, hidden, sealed, waiting. So, why hasn't anyone uncovered this before? Simple. History doesn't allow for it.
If this story is real, it would mean Europeans reached North America before Columbus. The Templars survived longer than recorded. The Church suppressed massive historical truths. Those aren't small corrections. Those are paradigm shifts. Standing beside that well, one thing became clear. We weren't chasing treasure. We were chasing truth. And truth doesn't always want to be found. The chamber below remains sealed, for now. But if what lies beneath New Ross is real, then history will have to be rewritten. Because sometimes the past isn't buried, it's hidden.